Well, I figured I'd make a video and let everybody know where I'm at with my cars and what I plan on doing with them and what's left to be done. This is my Forks car. It's a 1978 Capri station wagon. Everything in the car itself for derby purposes is done. I just got to fix the starter and do a little couple tedious things like tie things down and some stuff like that. This year we're allowed 1-inch all thread. In years past we weren't. This should help strengthen the car significantly. We'll see. Hopefully it creates a better show and makes cars last a little bit longer and be able to hit a little bit harder. The upgraded my window bars this year. Instead of the little flimsy bed posts that I had before, I went with 1/8 inch square tubing. Just a little more safety so nothing can come through my window, and hopefully don't have any issues with that. And this car, wiring is all done, roll cage is all in. The still got to put the shifter in. Right now it's still stuck on the standard stock one, which isn't good for derby. You usually try to run something that goes straight to the tranny. That way you can shift no matter what happens, because anything with linkage usually breaks. I've also done some pre-bending to the car. Many people don't understand, when you see a car like this, most of the time it's intentional. What this helps the car do is it helps it fold the way that you want it. It's basic physics. When you create a weak spot, the car should fold in that general area, hopefully like you want it to. It doesn't always happen like that, but if it does, that's a good thing. I've also done what's called a double notch. You can see where I cut the frame right there, as well as further up right there. What that's going to do is, again, it's going to help the car fold like I want it to, because GMs are very well known for folding down. If your tires aren't on the ground, you can't go anywhere. And I upgraded the tires to this. Usually I just run truck tires or trailer tires, which they're good tires, but these tires are 6-ply sidewalls. You're going to have a hard time popping those. Yes, they do still pop, but they're a lot better than what I have been running in the past. And first time I ran one was last year, and I didn't have any issues in the back of my car. I had issues in the front, but that's because it was a Ford. The Fords like to bend up and right into the firewall. You can't do anything about that other than run smaller tires. That's the Forks car. Let me move on to this one. This is the 76 Pontiac. Originally this was planned to be my mom and my uncle's car, but because I was drafted in this longshore and I'm getting ready to move here in 9 days, I'm not gonna have time to finish it for Forks, so I don't know where exactly it's gonna run at. It's probably gonna end up running in Port Angeles or Chehalis. It's still undecided. It depends on a couple different factors. I've hard nosed the bumper on this. What that is where you shorten the frame by either cutting it or folding it or doing something to where it's a square mount so you can mount the bumper. What this helps do is helps keep everything together. You can't do something like that on those. It's chain and go car. You have to hold everything together with chain outside of the 1-inch all thread through the core support. Where this one you can weld. I've welded all the frame seams from the tranny cross member forward. What that's going to do is it's not going to allow the frame to blow out, because it is two separate pieces of metal and it creates a frame or a seam. Now by welding the bumper on like that, it ties all that together, so if something were to happen, it has to move both sides. It doesn't just have to move one frame rail. And you also get the 1-inch all thread through the core support and 4 other locations, which should help hold everything together if I do it properly. Back here, I haven't welded anything back here yet, but we're allowed 5-on-5 off for welds. I did the same thing back here with this bumper. This bumper was seam welded, and then I welded this one differently. I welded it to the shocks to add a little bit of leverage, because the way that this frame sits, it comes up. Well, if I'm adding that leverage, it should fold up and back as opposed to folding down if I were to shorten it. Hopefully this car does well. I was also allowed to change it to 3/4 inch all thread for the body mounts, which should hold everything together. Instead of it having to just fold the frame or just folding the car, it will have to fold both, which should strengthen the car. This one, I haven't done any wiring, I haven't put any roll cage in. I'm kind of just focusing on the wagon over there, just so I can get that done for the 4th, because I got sponsors that I got to put on it, and I want to drive in the 4th. I'd rather drive in Forks than anywhere else if I had to choose. And then I got the Caddy over there. The Caddy's just sitting there. I haven't really messed with it. It's got a lot of issues. Hopefully they're just easy fixes. A telescoping steering wheel in it. It doesn't stay in one position. It still drives, but it doesn't stay in one position, so the steering wheel's constantly moving in and out. And then there's a couple other issues with it starting and stuff like that, which could just be simple, easy fixes. I haven't really messed with that yet. It was a driver when I originally got it, but the front doors don't open and has starting issues and just a bunch of other stuff that made it very inconvenient. I was thinking about driving it around for a little bit, but it's just inconvenient, so it's just sitting here. It does still turn over, does still run. It's just probably going to be my next year's car, the Forks for next year. We'll see, depends on many different factors, but I will have a car for Forks next year. It's just whether it's that one or I find something else that I want to drive in Forks. But I'll be creating more videos to hopefully put together a little DVD or some kind of something. That way, I like more angles instead of just a stationary view, which that's what most of the DVDs in the past have been. And there's no little extra commentary or extra little videos. So hopefully I'm going to put together something, because I am filming more. I'm going to put a GoPro on the top of my car, and I'm going to talk to a couple of the other guys that I know are running GoPros and see if I can get their footage, as well as film from multiple angles in the pits, which hopefully I can create something that's pretty cool, like the videos that I've created already. We'll see. It all depends on, what's going on and all that kind of stuff.